Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is your Tarotscope for the week ahead. Great to have you back, or welcome if this is your first time listening in. The first card that we have for you this week is the Queen of Pentacles. The question that prompted for me is, what makes you feel safe? I know that sounds maybe a bit of a strange turn of phrase or a strange question to pose. The reason that has come up for me is your next two cards are the Wheel of Fortune, which indicates change, can sometimes indicate luck, new energies coming through, but the ups and downs of life. And then we have the Five of Pentacles afterwards, which is the law of poverty. This isn't necessarily within financial matters. It may be. There are lots of things happening financially, big financial shifts, both on a local and global scale that I've been speaking about a lot within my tarotscopes. Partly you may just be picking up on that collective anxiety, that collective worry about finances, and maybe experiencing financial worries of your own. You're not alone within that by any means. January can sometimes be an expensive month. And it could sometimes take a little while for us to catch up on ourselves. I've mentioned this before in previous videos, but there's tax returns and all of those things that can lead to that feeling a bit financially strapped. That to me isn't so much of the predominant message here, although you may very well be feeling that. And that is maybe part of what makes you feel safe, financial security. But feeling safe can express itself in staying within your safety net, staying within your comfort zone. Being safe could be about your home, it could be about routine, it could be about relationships. And what often happens is we get very tied up with routine and everything staying the same. There's a complete fallacy that we experience within our lives, and this is across the board, of permanence. I'm an erstwhile Buddhist. I was practicing Buddhism for about 10 years. And one of the main lessons of Buddhism is everything is impermanent. Everything is in flux. Everything will eventually die, which isn't about trying to make people feel morose by any means. It's just the reality of nature. And what we tend to do is we hide behind what it's seemingly giving us a sense of control and safety so that we can ignore some of the kind of slightly more stark truths that are within our lives. Now, again, this is not, I'm not trying to go down a line to make you feel kind of glum by any means, but it's just to slightly shake you out of your illusion this week. This is what I feel that I'm trying to prompt you to do. There's that wonderful saying, isn't there, that feel the fear and do it anyway. And if anybody can do that, it is you, Aries, because you're so great at just charging ahead and going, okay, I'm slightly going to go full guns blazing. And that's really, really wonderful, wonderful to see. But there's just, you may be feeling, because the Five of Pentacles can often talk about anxiety, and anxiety is particularly in the material world. And this again links with what I was saying about it's often within the material world that we glean a false sense of security. If I earn enough, if I own enough, then everything will be fine. Then it will shield me against some of the harsh realities of life. And this is just me gently saying, actually, is that entirely useful? Are you avoiding things that make you feel a bit uncertain, feel a bit anxious, so that you keep moving to, oh, that's my safety net. This is me feeling comfortable. This expresses itself in twofold. One, it could just be simply saying, okay, this is a great time for you to be trying new things, to be stepping out of your comfort zone, to be taking risks, sensible risks. You know, this doesn't mean going full gung-ho and to hell with the consequences. I'm not suggesting that. But if you find yourself holding back on particular ideas, ambitions, anything, and if you find yourself saying no to a lot of things too, it's like, oh no, I couldn't possibly do that. Is that actually useful? Is that a reality? Or are you using safety as a safety net, pun intended? So I would really, really suggest that you feel the fear and do it anyway. Look at pushing yourself out of your comfort zone this week, and also embracing change. This is a big thing. It's unusual for me to be saying that to Aries this week, because Aries is normally a sign that deals with change a little bit better. It's obviously the first house. It brings in new energy. It can charge ahead with many, many, many things. So there is an ambitious energy that comes with Aries. But for whatever reason, you're perhaps feeling a little bit safe and a little bit kind of holding yourself back. So that's one aspect of this, of okay, could you push yourself out of your comfort zone a little bit? But the other aspect of it too appears with the Four of Swords and the Four of Cups, the Lord of rest from strife and the Lord of blended pleasures. Both of these, particularly in combination, is all about meditation. Now, meditation for some people brings them out in a cold sweat, and I hear time and time again, oh, I couldn't possibly meditate. I'm no good at meditating. Meditating is not about clearing the mind. It's not about getting into this Zen state, levitating, and oh, I'm not thinking about anything. That's not the point of meditation. The point of meditation is a kind of mental holiday, but it's also adjusting your focus onto something else. Usually that's things like the breath, or that can be visualizations, or that can be mantras, or whatever it might be. But there's a real call for you to see, and again, this, I'm going to use quite a grandiose term here, but to see the reality of things. When we're quite reactionary, which again sometimes Aries can be, when we're quite reactionary, we just assume that things are true on face value. And what you're being called to do this week, and I cannot stress this enough, is to reflect and meditate and see the true reality of things. So that might express itself as, oh, am I building this up to be bigger in my head than it actually is? Or am I placing my energies, my focus on things that I assume are going to protect me from reality? Sometimes these unsavory truths come up for us and we try and avoid them, or we just slip back into what makes us feel safe and secure. That can be routine, that can be one of the kind of, just to give an example, there are some people that just like to clean. They manically clean their houses so that it's a bit of an avoidance technique. And I'm saying, no. Do not do that this week. It really is just, it's going to get you into really hot water. It's going to exacerbate this Five of Pentacles energy, where actually all you're doing is stretching out the anxiety. Whereas if you take some time to reflect and examine and look at, okay, what am I avoiding? What patterns am I falling into because they make me feel safe, or even kind of unhelpful patterns? I know for me, for a time last year, that when it hit 5 o'clock at the end of the workday, I just wanted a glass of wine, for instance. It's pretty innocuous, but it just started to become a habit. It started to become quite a routine. And I think, why am I doing this? This is becoming a bit of a crux. And that is making me avoid, perhaps, maybe there are more conducive ways that I can decompress at the end of the day. And one of the best ways this week for you is particularly to meditate. So I'm really encouraging you to look at your falsehoods, look at what is my intention behind doing this thing, particularly if it's repetitive or it's a habit. So that is my message for you this week. If you be sure to subscribe and like and comment on this video. You can look in the comments below to find out how to subscribe and find out all your star signs and your rising and your moon signs. But until next week, have a gorgeous rest of the 7 days, and I shall see you then. Bye for now.